A Day in a Life as a student researcher here at Adamson University.
Good morning, classmates. It's finally 8 a.m., which means the chemical engineering lab is finally open.
Magpaparang ko ng equipment.
Fill upan ko lahat, tapos lahat ng ibabaro na palagay dito. Tapos mga name ng researcher and then papirma ko sa portfolio.
We already have our requested materials, so we're on our way to the ITC.
First things first, we will wear our lab gowns. Make sure that it's bottomed all the way up and with the sleeves down. If necessary, you may also wear safety glasses, gloves, face masks, and other protective equipment. Also, make sure you do not bring any food inside the laboratory since the food can be contaminated. No operating equipment should be left unattended, which means that horseplay, sleeping, and using phones for non-educational purposes are a big no-no. Additionally, make sure that precautions are taken to prevent long hair and eye delays from being entangled in moving parts of the equipment. This also includes neckties, dangling clothing or jewelry, and other unsafe items.
Disposal of chemicals should be done properly. Use the labeled trash bins to separate hazardous and non-hazardous waste accordingly. Don't just throw them in the sink. Before turning your borrowed equipment and glassware, make sure you properly clean and dry them first. Make sure to leave the laboratory dry, clean, and uncluttered.
Remember, transfer of equipment or devices without approval from the advisor or laboratory head is prohibited. Finally, in case of breakage, damage, or losses, a student must accomplish 3 copies of the laboratory damage report form.
So now that we know the rules, let's talk about how we keep ourselves safe in here. Understanding the policies is key, but knowing how to protect yourself is just as important. Let's dive into essential gears we use in the laboratory. Personal protective equipment, also known as PPE, are specialized gear that protects employees from workplace hazards. There are multiple types of PPE, which includes protective clothing, headgear, eyewear, respiratory protection, hand protection, and footwear. Protective clothing consists of chemical-resistant gown, welding jacket, and a coverall. For headgear, there are hard hats, welding helmets, earmuffs, and goggles.
For respiratory protection, there are disposable face masks, dust masks, and chemical cartridge respirators. For gloves, there are surgical gloves and wielding gloves.
And finally, for footwear, there are the safety boots, steel-toed boots, electrical hazard boots.
Okay, so we've got our PPE on. We know the rules, but what about the stuff we're actually working with? You might have noticed these colorful symbols around the lab. Well, they're not just random stickers. They're our way of understanding what we're dealing with.
First, what are GHS? Think of these symbols as warning labels, but way more detailed. They tell us everything from this stuff is flammable to this might mess with your health. Let's take a closer look. The first GHS is explosive, flammable, oxidizers, compressed gas, corrosive, toxicity, health hazard, serious health hazard, and hazardous to the environment.
Now that we know how to read the chemical language, let's talk about 7 tools that keep us safe when things don't go according to plan. Because even with the best precautions, accidents can happen.
The first device are the smoke detectors. As the name suggests, This device detects smoke and alarms people of possible fire to allow quick prevention. Then, there are sprinkler systems. It activates through smoke detection and kills fire by sprinkling water throughout a room. The third are safety signage and labels. Though mostly unnoticed, this device is an important part of laboratories. It reminds people of the basic lab policies they must conduct while experimenting. Emergency eye wash and shower stations. The fourth devices are important for accidents where you have been touched by toxic chemicals, as it washes out those chemicals from your eyes and your skin. Spill kits, the fifth device, are used for accidents where toxic, mainly liquid, chemicals are spilled. This kit contains solvent, absorbent powder, gloves, goggles, sponge, and the plastic container.
The sixth device, medkits, contains important medicine and supplies for applying first aid on open wounds in an accident. Finally, the seventh device, the fire extinguisher, is an essential safety device that every building must have. As the name suggests, this device extinguishes fire. Additionally, there are different types of fire extinguishers that extinguishes specific types of fire respectively. The first type of fire extinguisher is water, then foam,
Dry powder, wet chemical, carbon dioxide, and finally, water mist. To use a fire extinguisher, you can use the guide word TPAS, which stands for twist. Twist the pin to remove the safety seal. Pull. Pull the pin at the top of the cylinder. Aim. Aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. Squeeze. Squeeze the trigger or top handle. Sweep. Sweep the fire area with the extinguisher spray until the fire is completely out.
Commercial break! Housekeeping is an important requirement in any workplace, especially in environments where safety is a top priority, such as a chemical engineering laboratory. Good housekeeping means that there is a clean and orderly place for everything. It's more than just wiping dust off machines. In the laboratory, poor housekeeping can lead to serious hazards, including chemical spills, contamination, fires, and more. That's why it's important to know about housekeeping. It is a workplace practice that emphasizes maintaining a clean, organized, and efficient work environment by following the principles of 8S.
Savory, or it means sort. It removes unnecessary items and dispose them properly. The next one is Seiton, or systematic arrangement. Arrange all necessary items so they can be easily selected for use. The next one is Seiso. It means shine, cleaning the workplace and keeping it that way. Seiketsu. It means to standardize, maintain high standards of housekeeping and workplace organization at all times. Maintain orderliness.
Shitsuke, or sustain, which also translates to do without being told. It means to make sure you keep orderliness in your workplace. Seijutsu, or safety, which means focus on creating a safe environment. In housekeeping, this means using cleaning products safely, storing them properly, and addressing potential hazards like spills or clutter that could cause trips. Seishin, or spirit, it is emphasizing teamwork, morale, and continuous learning. Seichu, or growth or improvements, it is to commit to ongoing improvement and development. In housekeeping, this could mean regularly reviewing cleaning routines to find a way to be more efficient.
Here comes the fun part. Now, we're going to learn about emergency procedures through a game, and all you need to do is to choose the right answer between 4 choices. We're going to learn what you need to do during an emergency in the lab, and you will choose the right answer provided on the screen. A man heard the fire alarm, which could mean there's a fire emerging inside the building. What should his next move be? 1. Use the elevator to leave. 2. Open an unchecked hot door. 3. Use the stairs to go down. 4. Ignore exit signs or evacuation plans. The correct answer is 3.
After using the stairs to get to the lowest level, he now needs to find a way to escape the building. So, should he 1. Rush without any caution? 2. Crouch low to prevent smoke inhalation? 3. Stopping to take photos or videos of the fire? The correct answer is 2.
He now encounters the exit door. What would he do next? 1. Turn back and look for another exit without checking the door first. 2. Open the door without checking. 3. Kick the door open. 4. Feel the doorknob with the back of your hand. The correct answer is 4.
After exiting the building, what should he do next? 1. Call emergency services. 2. Go back inside to retrieve belongings. Or 3. Stand near the building to watch the fire. The correct answer is 1. Good day, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about earthquakes, one of the most unpredictable and powerful natural disasters. Knowing what to do before, during, and after an earthquake can make a huge difference in staying safe. So let's go over the essential steps to protect ourselves when the ground starts shaking. Once you feel an earthquake, what's the first thing you should do? Number 1. Drop, cover, and hold under a sturdy table or desk. 2. Run outside immediately. 3. Stand near objects that can fall. Or 4. Use the elevator. The correct answer is 1.
What should she do next after the earthquake stops? 1. Stay inside and wait. 2. Use the elevator. 3. Exit the building safely and go to an open area. 4. Run back inside to grab personal belongings. The correct answer is 3.
She's now outside. What should her next move be? 1. Run back inside to grab forgotten personal belongings. 2. Stand near buildings, power lines, and trees. 3. Spread unverified information. Or 4. Stay away from damaged buildings, power lines, and trees that might fall. The correct answer is 4. If the earthquake happens when she's outside of a building, what should she do? 1. Stay away from damaged buildings, power lines, and trees that might fall. 2. Run towards a building to take cover inside. 3. Stand near buildings, power lines, and trees. Or 4. Panic and start running in random directions. The correct answer is 1. Another emergency that might happen is getting a wound. For now,
We will talk about the steps and procedures and how to act in this event. So you receive the cut. What is the first thing that you should do? Wipe it on your clothes. Ignore it and continue working. Ensure your safety and apply first aid by cleaning the wound. The correct answer is applying first aid by cleaning the wound.
The bleeding has subsided. What would you do next? 1. Remove the bandage to check if the wound is still bleeding. 2. Notify your lab supervisor to monitor the wound for signs of infection and seek medical attention if necessary. 3. Ignore it since the bleeding has stopped. Or 4. Press on the wound again to make sure it won't bleed anymore. The correct answer is 2.
Now, what would we do if our classmate gets in contact with the toxic chemical in the lab? This is a very important situation that needs a solution right away. Your coworker gets in contact with the chemical in the eye. What's the first thing you should do? 1. Tell them to blink rapidly. 2. Wipe their eyes. 3. Use the laboratory emergency eye wash station and flush the affected eye with water for at least 15 minutes. The correct answer is 4.
You came in contact with a chemical in your skin. What is the first thing you should do? Wipe the chemical off or rinse the affected area with water for at least 15 minutes. Apply ointment in the affected area. The correct answer is rinsing the affected area with water.